Hello, 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 friends, family, and all you fantastic nerds out there. Um, Today, welcome back to the Midgar Press. Today, we're going to cover the improvised weapons. Now, there won't be that many, so this will be a quick video, so you won't have to listen to me ramble too much. But I did want to get in here, like I had said in the last episode, and talk to you about the improvised weapons, because these could be fun, could add just a little bit of extra flair to your game and give it that little extra that your players will then remember from here on out. So let's read improvised weapons again. Battles are sometimes fought in places where things in the environment can be used in combat as weapons for protection or for movement. These improvised weapons can do lots of different things, but they all have in common is that they normally can only be used once, after which they are consumed. Using an improvised weapon is an action and can be combined with movement. Examples of improvised weapons can be found on playing cards in this box. At the start of combat, the GM can draw D3 cards to see which improvised weapons are available. And to the left of the screen, we have the improvised weapons. So these will be provided in the core box. So these will be little cards that are provided in the core box. So you can dish them out as you go, or simply decide for themselves. The GM can mark an improvised weapon's exact location on the map or say that it is available anywhere in the area. The playing cards are placed on the table where everyone can see them. Once used, an improvised weapon is consumed and the card is removed. Complete adventures can feature new and unique improvised weapons that are connected to a certain adventure site. Now, one thing I haven't thought about, which I just now thought about, how interesting would it be if, say, I don't know, if the NPCs were to use the improvised weapons? What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Tell me in the comments. Should the NPCs get access to the improvised weapons like you, the player characters? Should they or should they not? So let's go ahead and go through the different things that are within the improvised weapons. So on the front of the card, you've got improvised weapon and then in. It tells you where you can find this weapon. On the back of it, it says boiling cauldron. Throw the boiling water in a cone that is 4 meters in both length and width. Everyone within the cone suffers 2d6 damage. The attack can be dodged but not parried, and armor has no effect. Bucket of soapy water. Throw the soapy water in a cone that is 4 meters in both length and width. Everyone within the cone falls down. The attack can be dodged but not parried. Burning firewood. Hit an enemy within 2 meters with the firewood. Requires 1 free hand. The attack hits automatically and inflicts 2d6 fire damage, plus damage bonus. Okay, cool. That could be something. The attack can be dodged or parried. The firewood can then be used as a torch. Interesting. This is a good weapon. Granted, you're only using it once, but 2d6 fire damage plus your damage bonus, and it can then be used as a torch. Interesting. Now, obviously, if you hit somebody, if one of your player characters uses the improvised weapon of burning firewood, you then have to roll, to see if the torch goes out after it hits somebody, obviously. Rummaging pig. So make a bushcraft roll to agitate the pig and make it attack an enemy of your choice within 10 meters. The attack automatically hits and inflicts 3d6 bludgeoning damage. Gosh. The attack can be dodged but not parried. Then the pig storms off. Whoa. That's brutal. Wine bottle. Hit an enemy within 2 meters with the bottle. Requires 1 free hand, obviously. The attack hits automatically and inflicts 2d6 bludgeoning damage plus damage bonus. The attack can be dodged or parried. The enemy gets wine in their eyes, which stings so bad it gives them bane. Oh, it gives them bane on all actions until your next turn. That's cool. We've got Chandelier. Swing yourself from the chandelier and perform a melee attack. You can take a normal movement action without triggering free attacks. The melee attack must be unarmed but cannot be dodged or parried. If the attack fails, you fall to the ground and take d6 bludgeoning damage. That makes sense. That's a total thing. Yeah. Okay, so that's the last one for the ends. We'll now move on to caves. Stalactite. Shove an enemy within 2 meters into the sharp rock formations hanging from the ceiling. The attack automatically, or the attack hits automatically. It inflicts 2d6 piercing damage plus damage bonus. The attack can be dodged but not parried. Armor has no effect except helmets. That makes sense. The helmet part actually makes sense because they're hanging from above. So, yeah, that makes sense. Torch. Grab a torch from the wall and strike an enemy within 2 meters. Requires 1 free hand. The attack automatically or hits automatically and inflicts 2d6 fire damage plus damage bonus. The attack can be dodged or parried. You may then keep the torch. But remember, you have to, roll to see if the torch stays lit or not. Torches, they stay lit for they stay lit for a shift of time, but anytime they want to use it in a melee improvised weapon way, I would just roll odds or evens to see if it, goes out or not. That's just me though, just me. Stalagmite. Shove an enemy within 2 meters into a tall rock formation on the cave floor. The attack hits automatically and inflicts d6 damage plus damage bonus and knocks the enemy to the ground. The attack can be dodged but not parried. Puddle. Roll to trip the enemy, page 48 in the rulebook. If you succeed, the enemy must spend 1 action and make an acrobatics roll to get up. Okay. Crevice. Roll to trip the enemy, page 48 in the rulebook. If you succeed, the enemy falls into a 2d6 meter deep crevice and suffers falling damage. Climbing up requires an acrobatics roll. Cool. Bats. Make a bushcraft roll to agitate the bats and make them attack an enemy within 10 meters. For stats, see page 99. The bats keep attacking the enemy for D3 rounds. If your bushcraft roll fails, the bats attack you instead. So it could happen. You got to weigh out the cons or the pros and the cons just to decide if, this would be a good idea for you. Okay, so that was the last cave one. Now we're moving to forest. Low branch. Swing yourself from the branch and perform a melee attack. You can make a normal move without triggering free attacks. The melee attack must be unarmed, but cannot be dodged or parried. If the attack fails, you fall to the ground and take d6 bludgeoning damage. That tracks. I like that. Wasp Nest. Roll bushcraft to pick up the wasp nest and hurl it at an enemy within 10 meters. The enemy gets badly stung, which inflicts 2d6 damage and gives them a bane on all actions for a shift for 6 hours. Wow. The attack can be dodged but not parried. Armor has no effect. If your bushcraft roll fails, the wasps sting you instead, as they should. Gnarled Roots. Roll to trip the enemy, page 48 in the rulebook. If you succeed, the enemy must spend one action and make an acrobatics roll to get back up. Cool. Boulder. Make an acrobatics roll to jump up on the boulder and throw yourself at the enemy within 2 meters. The attack inflicts 2d6 damage bludgeoning plus damage bonus and cannot be dodged or parried. If it succeeds, both you and the enemy drop to the ground. If your roll fails, only you fall over and suffer d6 damage. Okay. Viper. I really like that they're putting like creatures or common animals into this. Like, it just, the fact that they're considering you using creatures as weapons is spot on. Viper. Roll bushcraft to pick up the snake and throw it at an enemy within 10 meters. The enemy gets bitten, which inflicts d6 damage and a lethal poison with potency 12 if the bite pierces armor. The attack can be dodged but not parried. If your bushcraft roll fails, the snake bites you instead. Patch of Dirt. Throw dirt in the eyes of an enemy within 10 meters. The enemy suffers d6 damage. Armor has no effect. And it shouldn't get in. The armor should not affect it because with dirt, it can go, everywhere. And gets a bane on all actions for the rest of combat. The attack can be dodged, but not parried. Are y'all catching that? Everything can pretty much be dodged, except it can't be parried for the most part. Oh, and that's it. That's the last item. So those are the improvised weapons. There's only 3 areas, I guess. There's forest, cave, and then inn. But you can use those pretty much outside of air. If you see, a boiling cauldron could be used at a campsite. Wine bottle could be used anywhere if you have a wine bottle. Puddles can be anywhere, low branches. No, that's pretty much in the forest. Boulders could be down in, a cave, think about it. If it makes sense, why not use it there? But yeah, tell me in the comments, which one of these seems the most interesting to you all? Why do you think they put it in there? But yeah, a short video compared to my others. So thank you all for tuning in. Greatly appreciate you all continuing to come back and listen to me ramble about Dragonbane. So do the shenanigans of liking this, commenting, and sharing it with anybody and everybody that you think might find Dragonbane interesting. I know I do. But other than that, as always, live on and game on, my friends.